A new asylum crisis as the Home Office errors add to the avalanche of appeals. We're going to read into this exclusive from iNews, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an exclusive from iNews with the headline that the new asylum crisis as the Home Office errors add to the avalanche of appeals. Challenges being fueled by the department's unsafe decisions as it rushes to fulfil the PM's promise to clear the backlog, insiders tell the Eye. Guys, while you're here, before I give my thoughts, if you can hit the like button and share this across social media so other people are notified of this video. So we've here on my channel, obviously, I've talked numerous times about the asylum system and the issues that it has. We talked about immigration. We talked about the way that they've been handled, and we should not be surprised about the errors that the Home Office is making, considering that the way that they have been handling these and the way that they've been processed. We know that they are trying to make a claim that they've cleared a huge amount of the backlog before the end of the year. So it wasn't surprising that many of us have this belief that they were rushing to get some of this done to make it look like that they'd done a lot of work, when in fact that they've kind of scrambled and just tried to write some people off the system as well. So this really headline here about errors, this is only going to make things worse. It's only going to means that things are going to take even longer. When it comes to handling of cases, that means they've obviously screwed up on some of the claims, which is what's leading to the challenges that they're going to be facing even more. So it's not just a case of trying to clear the backlogs that we have and those who are still arriving, those who are still in our hotels, barges, and whatnot. But when they are incorrectly putting in wrong information or incorrectly putting in the data that they are the Home Office on these certain individuals and screwing them up, can lead to things like this. Yeah, I know, it's so frustrating. But obviously, we've talked so many times to death about asylum, and it's really important to remind ourselves is that this Home Office is absolutely effing awful. They're not just doing a crap job, but the way they are handling this all is disastrous as well. Now, Labour have not been clear about what they intend to do really to deal with the backlog. They've not been very clear. I haven't seen a very clear plan from them. But obviously, at this point, I would say for those who are unsure of Labour and not trustworthy of Labour, I would say, well, has things really gotten better under Conservatives? Yeah, over the last several years with the migration, because it's just gone up and up and up. I mean, obviously, I can understand if some of you are listening to this and you're planning on voting reform because because they're making claims that they'll do some of the policies that they'll do, they will never be able to do. They would literally have to break international law, which will never happen. The consequences of it would be dire. It would absolutely be brutal for the entire all four nations if that was to happen, which I don't think it would. Yeah, so yeah, problems with this stuff, guys. It's not going away anytime soon. So let's read into it. So the Home Office's unsuccessful scramble to meet Rishi Sunak's pledge to clear an asylum backlog is leading to a new crisis, with rapidly expanding mountains of appeals threatening to clog up the tribunal system, the Eye has learned. Specialist lawyers have said there will not be enough of them to handle the extra cases, many caused by the government's mistakes. So claimants will be forced to represent themselves, even if they are unable to speak English. Now that's a bit stupid. How is somebody supposed to defend themselves if you can't even understand what they're saying? So are they going to have an interpreter with them when they make their case? Like, that's the thing. If they're not even going to have that, that's not even fair. That's not even a fair from their point of view. You know, you're already dismissing that person's human rights before we go even any further here. So taxpayers are also facing to have to pick up the bill as the Home Office houses and financially supports the tens of thousands of extra asylum systems seekers who are waiting for appeals. Yeah, I know that one sticks in the neck of a lot of people. An insider at the department told the Eye that the appeals were being fueled by the Home Office making more unsafe asylum decisions as it rushed to fulfil the PM's promise. The caseworker pointed to changes made to procedures in an effort to clear a backlog of more than 90,000 old asylum cases by the end of last year. They included shorter interviews and concise refusal letters introduced to speed up processing. Changes were implemented by July onwards so we could clear the backlog, but the legal risk was high, the Home Office insider told the Eye. Quite literally, the backlog has been moved from asylum decisions to appeals. The latest available figures on asylum appeals show that they already have more than doubled by September, with a 111% rise compared to the previous year. Wow. They show that there were 3,866 new asylum appeals between July and September, and they have made up 38% of all immigration appeals compared to just 19% a year earlier. Those working in the system say the situation has gotten much worse since then. Figures covering all of the asylum and immigration tribunal cases show the number received jumped from 4,500 in October to more than 6,000 in November. Oh, what? That's in just a month. That's crazy. But the number of cases being dealt with has stayed steady, so the current backlog of 35,400 unresolved tribunal cases look set to increase exponentially. Ewan McKay, a partner of the McCushkin-McKay solicitors specialist in asylum law, said the number of appeals handled by this firm really kicked off in December and continued at high levels through January. The Home Office are just rushing things out, and they are doing, and where they're doing refusals, they're really poorly reasoned, he said. They're just going to add to the backlog. There have been political discussions over the need to increase tribunal capacity if the government attempts to send people to Rwanda, but no announcement of plans to deal with the current explosion in demand. Here's the thing, like right there, if they're rushing things as they say, guys, this is the problem. If they have to do it properly, and it's clear to me that the Home Secretary is trying to pressure them to get more done more quickly, and it's like, but if they do try and take shortcuts, which is what they appear to be doing here, you're going to have a situation like this. And that's the problem. You can't rush something like this, guys. You just can't. Every decision, this is a person's life that we are. Every single case is a human being. It's a person's life here that you're deciding here. You can't rush something like this. This is something that needs to be taken the time over. Immigration solicitor Sonia Legerson has warned that there were not enough specialist lawyers to take on the extra work. She has predicted that many claimants would have to represent themselves even if they do not speak English. It's hugely concerning, she said. The volume of cases will mean delays, and the lack of lawyers will mean appeals are not able to determine fairly. This is not only that, guys, this is because of the mistakes that they are making and the appeals that are happening. It's not only that, this is also taking up judges' times as well. Court times there where as well, because that also means that instead of them dealing with cases in the UK, they're going to be dealing with these as well. So this is at fault of the Home Office here. These mistakes and errors which are leading to these appeals, which could lead to time being taken away in the courts for these rather than actual things in the UK. That's the Home Office's fault. That's the government's fault there. People will be waiting longer and longer, and they are still entitled to asylum support because an asylum claim is not considered finished until an appeal is done. Around half the asylum appeals are currently successful, meaning that if the trend continues, the Home Office will have to reverse thousands of asylum refusals and withdrawals. That's going to upset a lot of people. The likes of GB News will jump on that big time. Especially Nigel Farage. Asylum seekers, many of whom wait years for an initial decision on their claim, currently wait on average of 11 months for a tribunal ruling on an appeal, and the figure is expected to quickly pass a year. Thomas Milnes, a solicitor at Duncan Lewis, said in one of the recent cases the Home Office decided to refuse an asylum application so quickly after an interview that the claimant had no chance to send in supportive evidence and documents. This here, I understand they're under pressure to clear the claimants and that, but you can't rush this. You can't rush each individual person. You can't. You just can't do it, guys. He added, it seems as though the Home Office had prioritised clearing the backlog over the quality of decision making or ensuring that the applicants had been given the opportunity to sustain their claim through further evidence in line with their own policy and guidance. The government claimed that it was successful in clearing the asylum backlog by the end of last year, has been disputed by its own statistics watchdog and glossed over by the fact that more than 4,000 cases were left facing the final decision. Another source with the close knowledge of the system who did not want to be identified said the quality of decisions during the rush to clear the backlog was poorer and caused a massive uptick in appeals. It's complete chaos out there and everyone is extremely stressed and having to respond to the latest crisis. And that's just the professionals, they added. The toll on people claiming asylum is infinitely worse. Asylum seekers who have their claim withdrawn or refused lose their right to government accommodation and the right to remain in the UK, leaving many risk of homelessness and criminal exploitation. The Refugee Action Charity said it had been challenging an increasing number of Home Office decisions to stop people support, and it was seeing many reverse because of abuses of process where people haven't actually been properly served their decision provided with the correct documents or timescales not properly followed. The Care for Callous charity said it has also monitored an uptick in appeals and a really high success rate. But it has warned that limits on legal representation meant that many asylum seekers will not be able to access the process. The Chief Executive Steve Smith said there also concerns that rush decisions are resulting in poor decisions being made, adding, it is the perfect storm that will leave individuals facing an uncertain future outside the asylum system and more vulnerable to exploitation. The Home Office said that asylum seekers and caseworkers could request extensions to 2-hour interviews and submit more evidence in writing. Yeah, but how many of them are being told that as well? I wonder how many were told that when they arrived. Were they told that when they had to make their case? How many did you actually tell? The department said that the new template introduced in July for letters telling people their asylum claim had been refused had not changed the decision-making process but made the documents more concise. But a caseworker said the format was driving appeals because of the rejection of material facts not properly explained or argued in the way it was previous. Stephen Kinnock, the Labour Shadow Immigration Minister, said, we already knew that the Home Secretary was cooking the books on asylum decisions because more than 30,000 claims had been withdrawn rather than properly processed and dealt with. Now we find that many have been rushed through and will be subject to appeal, a hidden backlog that the government don't dare talk about. This is more about smoke and mirrors from the Conservative ministers who have broken our asylum system. HM courts and tribunal services are already moved to speed up tribunal hearings with virtual cases and online services, and can explicit appeals if requested. A recruitment drive for more immigration and asylum tribunal judges is continuing. Yeah, this is the other thing as well. See, now you're rushing to get more judges for these cases as well. A government spokesperson said, We have met the Prime Minister's pledge to clear the legacy backlog of asylum cases made before the 28th of June 2022, and all of these cases have been renewed. Our process are underpinned by a robust framework and safeguards of quality checks, ensuring that asylum claims are successfully considered, decisions are sound, and that protection is granted to those who generally need it. Well, that doesn't appear to be the case here, does it, guys? It really doesn't. Yeah, I agree with Stephen Kinnock said that they're trying to cook books, and the rushing of trying to clear them before the end of the year to say, haha, look, we cleared this amount, look at this, look at these numbers, we cleared this amount of people, and it's just like, yeah, but you've rushed it, and now it's going to cost even more taxpayer money. Yeah, we are actually going to be paying even more because of these appeals, because they rushed these decisions as well. So that's going to cost us even more as taxpayer. If they had done the process properly, it wouldn't cost as much. But because they rushed them in to try and make themselves look like, oh, look at all these numbers we cleared. Now we're going to have to go back on a lot of these appeals. And it's looking like it may have been up to 1,000. Up to 1,000. That's a waste of the claimants' times. That's a waste of the judges' times. And that's a waste of taxpayers' time as well. All waste of time and money because they didn't do the process properly. They were more concerned about figures and saying, look how much we've cleared, rather than actually dealing with the effing problem and dealing with it and managing it properly. That's on them. That's the government's fault. You can't blame anyone else for this. Their handling of this. They run the Home Office. They chose to rush this, and now we are in this situation. And it's so bloody stupid from them. It really, really is. Because now you could have a case where somebody who legit didn't have a successful. You're going to have a variety of cases. You're going to have cases where people legitimately have a very good grounds and means to get an asylum application to make a refugee status here in the UK. But you're also going to and have their appeals will be heard. But you're also going to have cases where there are some who, for whatever reason, should not have their application approved. But their case was rushed as well, so that they are going to be able to get an appeal and likely come through too. So you're going to have these two. So you're going to have both these scenarios happening now. So what do you guys make of this? What do you make of the Home Office and the errors that they have caused? Let me know how frustrated it makes you feel in the comment section down below, because I know there's a lot of people upset about this. Because, like I said, if they had done this properly, yeah, if they handled this and managed it properly, we wouldn't be talking about this. But are we surprised by the Home Office's attitude towards this? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. If you found the video interesting, please hit the like button. It'd be greatly appreciated. Share it across social media so other people are aware of this video. And hit the bell notification icon, guys, so you'll be notified of every time I upload another video. And if you want to financially support me in the work I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Patreon for exclusive content. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.